Thanks very much. What a wonderful audience you are. Round. Georgie boy loves America, and America loves him. He strapped on his pistol and went looking for some sin. But the court said he's not a sinner, he's within the law. So Georgie stands his ground now and shoots to kill 'em all. Kill 'em all, kill 'em all. If Georgie sees a crime, he'll kill 'em all. Kill 'em all, kill 'em all. Georgie stands his ground now and shoots to kill 'em all. Georgie's out in America, and America's doing fine. It needs more guns like Georgie to wash away its crime. The minorities and the homeless are a burden to us all. But Georgie stands his ground now and shoots to kill 'em all. Kill 'em all, kill 'em all. Georgie sees a crime, he'll kill 'em all. Kill 'em all, kill 'em all. Georgie stands his ground now and shoots to kill 'em all. Georgie's in with America, but America's losing ground. This law's got we the people shooting each other down, selling autographs at gun shows and raking in the dough. America needs a hero, now Georgie's on the go. To kill 'em all, kill 'em all. Georgie sees a crime, he'll kill 'em all. Kill 'em all, kill 'em all. Georgie stands his ground now and shoots to kill 'em all. When I first met you, you filled up my heart. We sure did have lots of fun, I thought we'd never part. But as the years slipped on by, our love just slipped away. Now I'm back on empty with an empty heart. My empty heart's impossible to fill. The one true love that I had made my heart stand still. I keep looking to find someone, but I guess I never will. 'Cause my empty heart's impossible to fill. People keep on telling me that I will need someone, someone to keep me company until my living's done. But there ain't no one out there who can conjure up the will, 'cause my empty heart's impossible to fill. My empty heart's impossible to fill. The one true love that I had made my heart stand still. I keep looking to find someone, but I guess I never will, 'cause my empty heart's impossible to fill. I met a gal on Sunday, she said she liked my face. She invited me over to her place. But I thought about my one true love and my heart it just froze still, 'cause my empty heart's impossible to fill. My empty heart's impossible to fill. The one true love that I had made my heart stand still. I keep looking to find someone, but I guess I never will, 'cause my empty heart's impossible to fill. Yeah, my empty heart's impossible to fill. I say my empty heart's impossible to fill.
Don't wanna fall in love.
Real.
Tell that to my heart. I vow to never do this again.
I shit on the bed. What did I do?
I shit on the bed, I shit all over you. I shit on the bed, all over your dick. I shit on the bed, I am not a kid. I shit on the bed, I'm an adult. I'm an adult. I'm an adult. I shit in my bed, it's my best friend. I shit on the bed, I shit all over you. Fucking bitch, you shitting your titties. Fucking your shit, fucking your titties. Titty fucking shitting, fuck motherfucking titties. I shit on the bed, the bed, the bed. Your titty but a motherfucking titty, but a motherfucking titty, butter, 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 butter. Shitty fucking mother, butter, 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 titty, butter, butter, butter. I shit on the bed. What did I do? I shit on the bed. I shit on the bed.
Hi, and welcome to Modern Art Blitz. I'm your host, Mat Gleason. On this show, we talk about what's going on in the art world.
Modern art world, Matt. We're going to blitz people.
And this is my fabulous co-host, Lisa Derrick. Let's give a round of applause to Lisa Derrick.
Oh my God, you're making me blush.
Wow. All four people applauded you.
That's good.
So I also direct the show, and I get a press, I go, boop, hi.
Whoa.
Anytime I want, I'm looking you in the eye. Okay, so today, while we were getting ready for the show, in Chinatown, something really funny happened.
What was that, Matt?
A very important person in the art world walked by.
As they often do, because your gallery is so important.
Well, yeah. Okay, yes. And there are also people lost looking for Master Chef restaurant. So this important person in the art world is also slightly gullible. So we convinced her to be on the show. So we're going to introduce our first guest, and my co-host Lisa is going to read the art world news. And so, are you ready?
I'm ready with the art world news, Matt.
Okay. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to introduce our first guest. She was walking by, unsuspectingly, at about 3:30 this afternoon on Chungking Road, and
you shanghaied her.
We slowly pulled her into an Uber SUV. Ladies and gentlemen, the inimitable Carol Diehl. And Carol is from New York City.
Wow.
So Carol is a very talented artist, but in addition to that, she is a well-respected art critic. She actually,
let's own it.
She actually criticizes stuff, folks.
Own it.
So you don't just like write happy.
Well,
pieces.
there's a difference between journalism and art criticism, and one is analysis and one is reporting, and I think it's an important distinction.
Oh man, we're already getting sophisticated here.
Why not?
We've been on the air or in the internet tubes for less than 10 minutes, and we're already sophisticated. Okay, great. So in this segment, what we do is we have our fabulous co-host, Lisa Derrick, read the art world news. And so, and then usually the plan was for just me to reply, but boy, we got us an art world mind, and we couldn't resist. And
Another art world mind.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm sitting on a couch with some pretty heady intellectuals
There,
right
you know,
now.
I
hope I can hold my own.
And you actually said the word heady. Oh, okay. So why don't you start with the art world news, Lisa?
Well, this week in art world news, Matt, abstract painter Gerhard Richter, whose most recent work, Abstraktes Bild, sold for $46.1 million at auction, complained to German magazine Zielt about art world insanity, saying that prices have nothing to do with the works being sold. The painter also stated that he felt his work was overpriced at auction. Richter adjusted his humble bragging micro-complaint for a moment to muse that, for serious galleries, the business is consequently becoming even more difficult.
Oh, to have your problems, sir. You know, I only wish I only wish all you little artists out there in Artville had such problems. What do you think, Carol?
Well, I think of all the artists who are making millions of dollars on their work, he's the most deserving. So,
whoa,
yes,
whoa,
I do.
Whoa, what?
But it's such a distraction from the work. It's such a distraction that it's so much money. That's all anyone ever talks about. And it does take away from actually looking at the art and caring about the art.
You're telling me those blurry things are worthy of these prices?
I think he's the best.
How much does he take away from the auction price?
He doesn't take anything away from the auction price. He doesn't get that. And this is what a lot of people don't understand, is that the auction has nothing to do with what the artist gets. The artist got what the artist got when it was first sold. And yes, it does help the artist in that it brings up his prices, but he doesn't get that money.
Well,
but see, here we are talking about money again.
well, okay.
You know, because that's all anyone ever talks about in the art world, and that's what he's complaining about.
He's complaining about the fact that we would rather, I think Gerhard Richter should be grateful that there's these big auction prices hiding the fact that he has become the most, I've never seen an artist imitate themselves so pathetically for such an extended period of time.
Oh, I completely disagree.
Okay, and now the mud wrestling starts.
No, for instance, you know, this is a guy who's been doing, first of all, different kinds of art over a long period of time. He's got 4 or 5 different styles, if you will, that he works in. And he's 80 whatever, and he suddenly decides to do something completely different with computer art, which he did a few years ago when he did the stripe paintings. He changes every, few years.
I consider Gerhard Richter...
And does something completely different.
I've never liked Gerhard Richter. Going back to his painting of his uncle as a Nazi, and his paintings of photographs of landscapes, of urban landscapes. And when I saw first saw his smear paintings in, I think it was about 1989 at MoCA, they always just, I never liked them. I
will go through a whole art fair and not see anything I want except a Gerhard Richter.
How many Gerhard Richters do you own, Carol?
Oh, 10 or 12.
Yes, and we are in a lightning-protected building.
Lately.
The lightning bolts are not striking. So.
No, I think he's the best. I have a lot of respect for him. And this isn't the first time he said this. He said this for years. He said it in the film Gerhard Richter painting. He feels that the...
Well, wait a minute. You're saying he's repeating himself, like he does in his art. I think you might have proven my point there, Carol. Okay, well, before my guest and I have a fight on the very first news item, Lisa, please give us news item number 2.
This week, backers of Cards Against Humanity, which describes itself as a party game for horrible people, are voting whether or not a Picasso lino cut will be donated to the Art Institute of Chicago or be laser cut into teeny tiny little pieces and sent to Cards Against Humanity's 150,000 participants. Voting closes on December 31st. The 1962 lino cut, Tête de Faune, measuring about 24 by 20 inches, reportedly sold at auction earlier this year for $14,000, making each weensy slice worth less than a penny each.
And who owns it?
Cards Against Humanity.
They own it? They bought it?
They bought it.
Like $gazillion?
No, they bought it. It's a
lino cut.
It's a lino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a lino cut. It sold for $14.1 thousand.
Here's my issue. Would the Art Institute of Chicago even accept this mediocre Picasso into their permanent collection? There's a lot of terrible Picassos.
This one's cute, though. It's very cute. I should have brought a picture for you. It's adorable. I'd love to have it, like, hanging up in my kitchen.
Okay, my issue is, actually, I think they should. They have a laser cutter, and they're going to cut this Picasso lino cut. It's not that great. There's a billion Picassos out there. This is just a black and white lino cut. It's a goofy little image, and they're going to cut it out. And, it's like the Catholic Church They all have relics of, the shin bone of St. John.
But this is going to be like the width of a hair, each piece, because there's 150,000 subscribers, and the piece is only like 500 square inches.
Like the hair of Christ or whatever.
It's a reliquary, it's a reliquary. I think it's a great way. All these people have been saying, let's get art to the masses. And finally we have a chance to give people a tiny piece of Picasso, and people are upset. What's the problem? Carol, how many Picassos do you own?
I haven't counted.
I have one hanging in the guest bathroom.
Really?
Yeah, I'll show it to you the next time you and Lee come over.
Oh, thank you for including my wife.
I really don't have an opinion on this.
I have an opinion.
It just sounds like a silly exercise.
It sounds like, but don't you think couldn't you look at this as a conceptual artwork?
Yes.
You mean like the erased de Kooning?
Or like the Brutalist, the machine that destroys itself? Isn't that tingly? I don't. God. The one thing I hate is French names. Okay.
Well, now we have some Chinese names, Matt.
Uh-oh.
More details have emerged about the Art Basel stabber.
Oh.
Her name is Xiyuan Zhao, which we knew already. Her violent attack was mistaken for performance art in Art Basel when she repeatedly jabbed an X-Acto knife into the neck and shoulder of another attendee, Shen Xiaoyang. 24-year-old Zhao, a Chinese national who lived in an apartment on Manhattan's Upper East Side, was described by an associate as a graduate of the 5-year architecture program, 5 years, at the University of Oregon, where she had many friends and was considered an understanding person. Zhao had followed her victim through Art Basel tent, bumping into her several times before shanking her near an art installation entitled The Swamp of Sagittarius. Interestingly, Miami Art Basel is held during Sagittarius in a swamp, created by Miami artist Naomi Fisher and partner Agatha Wara. Zhao, who was handcuffed in front of the LA-based Friedman Fitzpatrick Gallery booth, told police she had to kill Young and 2 others. There's no word yet about Zhao's trial, although she spontaneously confessed at the time of her arrest, saying, "I had to kill her and 2 more. I had to watch her bleed." She was charged with felony attempted murder and is being held on a mere $25,000 bail. That's like nothing. So they could bail her out with 1/10 of that.
Who is they?
Yeah,
Her friends, her family, the Chinese embassy, I don't know.
Oh, if you're walking around stabbing people at Art Basel, you know what? You ain't got no friends.
Well, what bothered me about this is when it was reported and it was discovered that it was not an art event, people just billed it as a catfight between 2 women, which I thought was fairly sexist.
It's
Totally sexist.
Totally
Do I
sexist.
get feminist points now? Huh?
Yes, it's
Please?
definitely it's definite that there was a very disturbed woman who fixated on someone who was wearing a white jacket and stabbed her in the neck and shoulder.
Wow.
The victim actually confronted the stabber after being bumped into her and said, "What are you doing?" or words to that effect. And that's when the shank came out and it got nasty.
Hoo-wee.
But how blasé is the art world that they thought this was performance art?
Well, I think that's my take on this, though, really is, did you notice it's the only thing people are talking about with Art Basel? The art world has
except for the
become
rain.
so jaded to Art Basel. Oh, Art Basel, it's this amazing, when you go to Art Basel, it's an overwhelming spectacle, and the only thing people can talk about is this stabbing. It's the only thing that made news anymore. Art Basel itself is no longer news. You have dealers wanting to kill each other to get into Art Basel, and the only thing that's news is a stabbing.
Yeah, well, last year there was a theft and someone broke a piece of art. That was the big news. So they've upped their ante.
Oh, boy.
All right. And
Carol, what's your take?
Well, it's scary, but the thing that upset me the most was the way it was represented in the art press.
Yep.
And also, this distinction between performance and real life is, I can understand why people would think it was performance, because that's the sort of thing people do at Art Basel, supposedly.
I I agree. Moving on.
Moving
do
on.
we have more art world news?
Yes, we do.
Oh, wow.
And continuing in the fair theme, the Los Angeles Art Show isn't the only fair game in town for artists and enthusiasts. Thanks to 2 new fairs debuting during the 3rd week in January, the same time that the megalithic LA Art Show hits the convention center. Fabric Expo opens its doors in the downtown Los Angeles Arts District for what promoters say are artists blurring the boundaries between art, design, architecture, environments, and media. No idea who's exhibiting there. It's not up on their website. Meanwhile, Startup Art Fair, an independently produced art fair for underrepresented artists, which will showcase artists only, no galleries, will be staged in Hollywood at the Highland Gardens Hotel. Interestingly, where Janis Joplin committed suicide when it was known as the Landmark Hotel.
Wait. I thought Janis Joplin OD'd. I didn't think
Well,
it was
she OD'd.
It wasn't an intentional suicide.
Okay,
No.
I misspoke.
Carol,
All right.
when you were with Janis Joplin on her last night, well, no, never mind.
I was showing her my Picassos.
You hadn't gotten the Richters then?
No, that
Yeah,
was
well,
before
where
Richter.
Janis Joplin overdosed. But it was called the Landmark Hotel, and now it's the Highland Gardens Hotel. Now, full disclosure, Mat Gleason is on the Startup Art Fair Advisory Committee. So you probably have more to tell us about it, Matt.
Oh, the Startup Art Fair is, it's going to be in a hotel, and it's going to be artists without galleries representing themselves. It's rigorously curated.
Yes,
that I can guarantee you. I was the selection committee
was like so blue ribbon.
Yeah. They're very. I was impressed with this organization. So yeah. But regardless, Carol, you're a New Yorker. What do you think of all these art fairs?
Well, there are really, I don't love the art fair concept because you can't really follow an artist and see a huge amount of their work. I think that it's, one piece on a wall doesn't tell you very much. But I think the idea of an art fair for artists is kind of interesting.
Yeah?
Depending on how much it costs to get in.
Oh, I think the admission is negligible.
No,
Nobody's
I mean
looking
for
at
the
it.
artist.
How much a booth is. Oh, yeah.
Because it's a lot for galleries. And that's the other thing. The art fair thing really stresses galleries, I think, to
you don't got to tell me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
being
I think,
run.
Yeah. Art fairs are they're certainly overpriced. The job of the art fair is to introduce the artist with the collector, and the art gallery with the collector. In the case of the Startup Art Fair, the artist with the collector. And if they aren't going to do that, get out of here. So let's hope that there's a good way for the collectors to actually show up at these fairs. But LA, I mean.
Well, but the Highland Gardens Hotel is just walking distance from the Red Line. It's like a block. It's a great location.
How many art collectors
Just take
the Red Line? Yeah, this is LA, man. How many?
Well, that's why there's Uber.
There's, that's my answer to everything these days.
Exactly.
So, cool.
That's our news for the week, Matt.
That's the news?
That's the news.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Carol, we didn't even come to blows.
No.
I was hoping, man, I'm ready to go.
I know, we're good
I'm
at
ready
that
to go.
too, but it just didn't happen this time.
Okay, well, Carol, I would like to say we have lovely parting gifts, but we don't. But hey, you were just walking around China. How did you like Chinatown?
Oh, I think Chinatown is fun.
Yeah.
It's much better than New York Chinatown.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Thank
Good to hear.
You enjoyed all of our galleries?
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Oh,
I
good,
mean,
good,
where
good.
else do you have the combination of the Chinese trinket stores and art galleries?
I'm telling people this every day. Okay, so
Okay.
well, hey, thank you so much for letting us put you in the Uber and get you over here.
Thank you for inviting me, and invite me again, and we'll get into a good fight.
We'll get into a good fight. I got some not a fan of Richter. So, all right. Okay, so thank you. And now, here's what's going to happen. We have a big-time artist guest coming on.
But first,
But at the moment, Carol's putting her clip-on mic on him. So we're going to have a word from our commercial sponsor.
it's our intern, Rebekah. She'll be delivering the commercial today.
Okay, so now, wait, we have intern Rebekah. Hi, Rebekah, how you doing?
I'm good.
And what grade are you in?
I'm 14th grade.
Oh, wait a minute now. Hold on. Okay. Oh, and then, wait, 12th. So you're a sophomore in college.
Yes.
And where do you go to college?
I go to the University of Laverne.
And what are you studying?
I am an art history major, and I'm minoring in studio art and marketing.
Wow.
Market that studio art. That's what I say.
Damn.
So, hey, look, it's our commercial.
It's our commercial.
Okay, so let's go with our commercial.
All right. Did you know that Ling's Market has been furnishing beer and wine in Chinatown since 1974?
I did not know that.
We have a fine selection of beers and 2 varieties of wine, red and white.
Well, wait, there's rosé too.
Well,
Oh, don't tell Mr. Ling. Don't tell Mr. Ling. Okay.
our beer and wine are delicious, or Mr. Ling is not happy. Once you buy beer and wine from Mr. Ling's Market, you will laugh at the people who shop at Trader Joe's with the confidence of an elitist. Please enjoy.
Okay.
Please enjoy our fine beverages responsibly. You don't want to anger Mr. Ling.
No.
Ling's is at 974 Chungking Road in Chinatown, of course.
Downtown LA.
And we have soda pop for the kids, too.
Yeah, all right. See?
Those marketing classes are really paying off.
Oh, I actually haven't had one yet.
That's why she said she's minoring in it. Okay. Well, hey, thank you,
Thank you.
Intern Rebekah, everybody.
Yay!
All right. So, okay, and now we're going to have our next guest.
Who's our next guest, Matt?
Our next guest is a major force in the Southern California art scene. He has single-handedly helped bring realistic imagery and the attention to detail that great art requires back to the forefront. Ladies and gentlemen, the inimitable Abel Alejandre.
Yay!
Okay, how you doing, man?
Good.
Welcome to Modern Art Blitz.
Thank you.
And you know Lisa, our co-host.
How are you?
Oh man, it's all right. So Abel, what's your wife going to say when she sees you sitting on a couch with a beautiful woman?
Well, she just texted me and asked me, why are you disrobing?
So,
You're safe with me. Tell her you're safe with me.
Well, I guess as long as you don't disrobe.
okay, so Abel, and Abel, full disclosure, Abel shows with Coagula Curatorial, my gallery in Chinatown. I couldn't resist having him as our first guest because alphabetically he comes first.
Well, also, I've shown Abel. I showed him at the 2015 LA Art Show
At the art fair.
At the art fair, right. In the exhibition that I did called Dark Progressivism Metropolis Rising, which was all black and white. And Abel's work in black and white, his pencil cross-hatching is superb. And you actually have a mural that's part of the metro station, isn't it?
Well, it's a metro station.
It is a metro station.
There's 12 panels of original artwork. And hopefully by February or March, we will have it unveiled. I haven't had the official email sent to me by the Metro folks, but as soon as I have it.
You don't know the exact date?
I don't have the exact date. They just keep saying early 2016.
Oh, okay.
So it could even be January.
Now, let me ask you this, because this is interesting. Your work, the one thing about your work, in addition to its rigorous realism, is you don't use a lot of color. What kind of artist abandons color?
Well, I painted with color for more than 20 years, and I did murals for the 1984 Olympics in Long Beach, and those were all in color. But I found that after some time, most people who like my work would compare it to other artists' work, which I didn't like, and although I respect other artists' work, I didn't want to extend anyone else's legacy. So I wanted to just distinguish myself a little bit, and I just started experimenting with black and white, and once I did it, it changed all my work, and I just couldn't go back to color.
So maybe a little more detail. Did you dumped color? Was color cheating on you?
Well, I find that just because you can do color doesn't mean that you should.
Oh.
And
how many?
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
I know so many artists that applies to.
and not singling anybody out, but in my case, I felt that I didn't need color to say what I wanted to say.
I don't need you in my art.
So you've done a whole series of, can I say cocks on TV? You've put a male of roosters, as well as men as superheroes, including Matt as a superhero.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about your relationship artistically with the male persona?
Well, a lot of my work has to deal with masculinity and issues of masculinity, and basically I have like a question that I not necessarily try to answer, but explore. Is like, what does it mean to be a man? And so one of the metaphors that I like to use is the rooster. Mm-hmm. It's an animal that they'll fight to the death, that chases around the hens. And I feel that it's a metaphor that just gives me a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's also food. And so I like using it for that reason. And I thought that I'd be done. Honestly, I thought I'd be done with my roosters about 5-6 years ago, but I just keep finding new. I find that it just creeps into my work.
And you draw them with such personality. Everyone has a different expression and a different vibe about it.
Well, they remind me of people I know. They do. So for every rooster, like I have like the title for that goes when it hangs in the gallery, mm-hmm. and then I have like a private title, like this one might be Tio Ramon, or somebody else.
What were some of the challenges of drawing Matt?
By the way, I just want to point out this is a drawing of John Measures, okay?
That's not Matt.
That ain't
John
me.
Measures.
We got to say we buy our glasses at Costco, but.
Well, I asked Matt if he would sit for me for a drawing, and I get to his place, and he's wearing a plaid shirt similar to what he's wearing now.
It might have been this one, actually. Yeah, I think it was a shirt.
And when I showed up, all I could think, son of a bitch, that's going to be so hard to draw. And but I never asked people to change or dress a certain way, because I want them to wear what they feel comfortable with, and I want it to be their personality. And so when I showed up, it was the plaid. It just killed me.
Well, Matt has that effect on a lot of us.
Sucker.
He does.
Sucker. All right. So Abel, now okay, let's get this one out of the way.
Okay.
Abel
mm-hmm.
or Abel?
Okay, it's Abel. I prefer Abel. If you see me out in Chinatown or anywhere else, it's Abel. Even my family calls me Abel. And if you speak Spanish and you can say it in Spanish, it's Abel.
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 Okay.
And it's not a bell. A bell rings. So
it's not a bell ringing. It doesn't ring a bell.
It's Abel.
Abel.
So you said you were making murals for the 1984
Olympics.
For our guests who were born in the 90s, how long ago was the 1984 Olympics?
30 years ago?
31 years ago.
Yeah, well, I was rounding, but yeah, basically. Close enough.
So you've been in LA making art that long?
Yes, and I have to say that you know, it was always a realistic expectation on my part to get paid as an artist, because you know, when I was doing that, I was still, you know, in my late teens, and so getting paid to make art, to paint murals, it was like, I didn't see why I wouldn't make money making art. So so when people say, oh, it's a pipe dream or it's unrealistic, it wasn't for me, because I got paid early. So so that's why I kept doing it, and I felt encouraged to do it.
Wow. So what do you think about artists who are making art and not getting paid for their art? Like every single artist, that's the consignment. You consign artwork to, you know, you consign art to a gallery, and the gallery sells it and splits it for 50-50. If the work doesn't sell, you don't get paid, and the poor gallerist. Think of the poor gallerist. They go hungry too. So how long have you been in the gallery shuffle, shall we say?
I would say, seriously, like, you know, being active, I would say since probably around 2006, I became more, I would say, fully invested. You know, before that, I don't feel that, you know, I was as invested as I am now, and that I would put in the time and that was required. And I guess as an artist, being a professional artist, I felt that, you know, I was doing enough, but I wasn't.
So you're saying art's a full-time job?
It is.
What do you say to these artists that have this need to eat 3 times a day and therefore have to like do something else other than make art?
Work harder.
But you could argue that there are artists and writers. Certainly Franz Kafka worked at an insurance office for decades, and he would like come home and write. And I don't know if it's the same vibe with being a painter, but you know, there's people who work a full-time job and then come home and paint and draw or sculpt.
Well, that's what I mean. Work harder. I mean, if you have a full-time job, which, you know, which I have had, I started working when I was 4 years old, picking cotton in Mexico. I mean, like, I've worked my whole life. I've never shied away from work. So when I had a full-time job, I would come home and I would still put in a minimum of 6 to 8 hours, even though I had a full-time job. And that's what it took. Okay. If I only came home and doodle for an hour or two and then I wanted my work to be hung, I don't blame any gallery for not wanting to show my work.
So did your work get better the harder you worked, or were you just born with this God-given talent?
No, I was born with a crappy, you know, draftsmanship, and it only improved when I actually invested the time that, you know, that I needed to invest. I thought I was investing enough time, and I found that when I started spending hundreds of hours on a piece instead of like a couple of hours, the work got remarkably better.
Do you consider yourself to be a Chicano artist, or a Mexican American artist, or just an artist?
I think politically I consider myself Chicano, but I don't consider myself a Chicano artist, because my work does. I don't feel that I'm trying. That's where my path is with my work. I'm not trying to take my work and revisit, you know, these issues that I feel that other artists have done it much better and sooner. And for me to just pair it with somebody else has already said is not something that I'm interested in.
What are your preferred issues?
Honestly, I don't feel that I have preferred issues. In fact, I just do the work, and it's only my collectors and people who are fans of my work, in conversations with them, that they've told me what the work, you know, was doing to them and what it was about, and it was to my surprise. I just produced the work.
Well, the one thing your work is famous for is, obviously no color, but it's also an amazing detailed draftsmanship. You don't really cheat anywhere in that in your art. And so can you, like, what is it about realism in an age where abstraction and expressionism and conceptualism are so dominant, what is it about realism that still has a hold on you?
Well, I feel that in this day and age where we rely on everything being instantaneous, I tend to always go in the opposite direction. And so, you know, I don't want it to be instant. I don't want it to be something that anyone could just produce, you know, if they had a couple, you know, hours to kill. I want the work and, you know, and sweat to show through the work. And so I always appreciate hard work. It doesn't have to artists don't have to spend a lot of time for me to appreciate it, but I do appreciate it when artists do put in some thought and effort. Well, so that's what I try to do.
There's an old saying that somebody looks at a painting and it's really sloppy, and they say, well, that only took you 10 minutes to do. And the artist says, it took me 50 years to get to this point to make sure those 10 minutes mattered. What do you have to say to that crap?
Most of the time, I have to call bullshit. but I have to say there are some, you know, some artists who can do that, and I'm you know, I'm enamored when I see the work, and I don't know you know how you get that balance where you can be quick about it and have like that instant moment where the work is actually like it comes to completion much sooner than me anyways. And I don't know where that balance is with me, but when I see it with other people, you know, I'm impressed. But
yeah, but
generally I call bullshit.
It's few and far between. Let's be totally honest. So now where can we see your art? I know in the spring we have a show scheduled with you at Coagula Curatorial, my gallery, full disclosure, owner. Okay, but other than in showing in Chinatown, you have your Metro project is going to be, which station is it?
It's the Westwood Rancho Park.
Westwood Rancho Park. Now, the Expo line opens sometime later, sometime in 2016. 216. Yes, it's 216. The Roman Empire is great. I have to say, isn't this emperor better than the last one? Okay, yikes. Okay, in 2016, your station opens, and the Expo line is going to go from the beach to downtown.
Right.
And it already goes from downtown past USC, and your station is somewhere on the west side.
Right.
And how many writers a day do they anticipate?
4.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but on the day that they do unveil the station, the rides are going to be free, so I anticipate a lot of writers.
And Matt, aren't you and Lee featured in that mural?
Oh, I forgot all about that. Yes, yes. The wife and I are in the mural, but with Abel's genius to not shocking the world with an ugly art critic in his art, he had the brilliance to crop everybody at the station from the waist down. Now, Abel, why?
Well, it was a gamble. You know, when I proposed my idea, my concept for the station, and I just wanted, I went and looked at everybody else's stations, and I just wanted something that could be uniquely my work, and no one would confuse it for anybody else's. And I just wanted to make it as original as possible. As you know, nothing's real original, but you know what I mean. So I wanted just to have a conversation with body language, and this would be like all the would-be commuters and sort of the relationships that they have with one another. So if you have a bunch of friends, you know, riding together, couples, or just skateboarder kids or whatever, I wanted that narrative to be told just through body language from the waist down, from the vantage point of a child.
Well, that's actually like in a lot of ways, the work has a bit of a Baldessarian. Baldessari would put the dot over the face, so you didn't look at the face, so you could look at what the body was doing. And so conceptually, maybe you kind of took a leap in this. What was it like going through this? You went through this process. How many artists wanted to do this station?
I believe there was like around 430 artists who submitted for a station, and 27 of us were finalists. And out of those 27, it was 27 or 21, but like very low number.
Bunch.
Yeah,
all qualified, all capable.
All qualified.
And you still made it out.
And I lucked out. But yeah.
I was just going to say that the concept of having people from the waist down makes it so universal, and because Rancho Park Westwood is a primarily very homogenous neighborhood, you've broken down a lot of barriers because you don't know who the people from the waist down are. They could be, you see couples, but you don't know race, you don't always know gender, you don't know age, and it shows the great unification that the Metro is supposed to provide.
But that was one of the goals, and they were not necessarily spelled out, but one of the goals of for the artwork, for it to be more universal.
Right.
And I'm glad that I was able to provide that.
And also, a lot of people just always look down on the Metro. So what you are seeing as you're writing, because you don't always want to make contact with.
Don't be looking down on the Metro on my show. I took the bus for years.
That is.
Wait, whoa! Check this out. Wait,
that isn't what I.
Check this out. I carry my tap card around.
Woo.
Oh man!
Just in case. If you don't know what a tap card is, ask your cleaning lady. She'll know what it is. Okay.
Those are great, and they have special designer ones you can get.
I've got a designer one. It was the 75th anniversary of Union Station. Look at that. Look at here. Let me get the camera here.
Yeah, but a lot of times when you're writing, you just you don't want to necessarily, as a woman, I don't want to make eye contact with strange men on the Metro. So my gaze is sort of down.
This is LA. The strange men aren't just on the Metro.
Oh yeah, I've
Well, when I was drawing, what was funny is when I was drawing my different subjects, they all had their Metro stories and their habits and just I learned that some women will take their purses and wrap it around their legs so someone can't just take off with it.
Wow.
So when they're sitting, they can relax. They don't have to have their purse on them. But
they can take off with their leg.
But it's wrapped,
the handle goes looped around their leg.
And I thought that was really interesting. I didn't work it into any of the panels, but still, a lot of little details about people's habits. They were interesting to hear.
So can you talk about a little technical stuff? We've got images of your art. We're surrounded by your art here, and a lot of it is just so rigorous. You're drawing, to the point people have mistaken your work for photography, correct?
They have, but I don't. My work is just it's all line work, and it's usually people I think that need glasses where the line with
It's a lot of people in the art world, but anyway.
Well, where
no names.
Where the line work is, it's so tight that they can't see that detail, and I always put all drawers and dress persons into 3 categories: people that do line work, like myself, people that smudge, and people that just kind of do their drawing more through erasing. And I do my work with line work. I don't erase, and I generally don't erase. The times that I have erased is to draw with the eraser, but I don't like erasing, and I draw mostly with a very hard pencil, like a 9H.
And do you have a pencil sharpener at home, the old-fashioned kind that you stick the pencil in and you
I have about 38 pencil sharpeners. Electric, hand, mechanical.
But do you have the old school house
I have
one?
the old school.
Oh my
I have them all.
Do you ever get on like the websites like Yelp and review the pencil sharpeners? I'm sure there's a big pencil
Or
sharpener
Amazon.
community.
Or Amazon.
Do you ever get on Amazon? I mean, do you ever just like start ranting? This pencil sharpener is a... No, none of that.
I'm busy drawing.
Oh man. So how many pencils do you go through in the average in an average major work?
If it's work on paper, I use wood pencils, and I can easily go through 300 pencils. And it's mostly because I have to keep I only work with the sharpest lead, so I have to, I'll sharpen like 50, 60 pencils at a time and just have them in a jar, and I'm just pulling them out, and they'll probably yield like anywhere between like 6 and 10 lines before I, put it in another jar to sharpen again. Wow. And so I go through a lot, and if it's drawing on wood, then I use mechanical pencils, and I use 9H, and those last me a little bit longer. Maybe I'll just kill like 40 lead sticks.
Uh-huh. So what are you working on now? Your stations, you're done with the art part, right?
Yeah, I've been done I've been done for well over a year, and the station they installed the panels earlier this year.
But they do have to do this small bit of work called installing the train track, right?
Well, that is done. I think right now what they're just doing is just testing and testing and testing. Anytime you're dealing with public safety, they have a lot of redundant tests.
Well, okay. I do have a pretty serious question. Like if there's a train commuter or something, like what if they blame the artist for the train accident?
Because, but the conductor was so, enthralled by the art, he pushed the wrong button.
Your Honor, I'm not speculating here. I'm merely stating a perception of the facts.
Well, that would be a terrible thing.
Well, hopefully it wouldn't be your art that gets blamed.
So what are you working on? What does 2016 hold for Abel Alejandre as your career rockets into the stratosphere?
Well, right now I'm working on a new series for my show, and
your solo show.
My solo show.
At Coagula Curatorial.
At Coagula Curatorial.
Yep.
And that's it's a completely new body of work, and it's dealing with secrecy and conspiracies.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
And so that's it'll be interesting. I'm testing out and experimenting with different mediums, but keeping my all my line work true to form. So I'm very excited, and hopefully May will come here soon.
And is it all men in this?
No. This series, my last series, like the work that's behind us, was about men coming to terms with aging, and so. But this series is more universal. Women, men, children, animals.
It's a secret. It's a secret. So, do you have anything else lined up for 2016 besides spending many hours in the studio? 1 minute? We got 1 minute. Don't even answer that.
That went so fast. Wow,
oh my God,
Matt,
I didn't even get to ask you all the questions about what a great wife you have.
I'm sure my wife appreciates that.
Okay, well, I want to thank our guests for today for the very first episode of Modern Art Blitz. Our special guest who was walking by as we were loading the car up, Carol Diehl, all the way from New York and Connecticut. Of course, our intern Rebekah, and I'd like to thank our sponsor Ling's Market. my lovely co-host,
Lisa Derrick.
the lovely Lisa Derrick. She introduced herself there.
Well, I thought you'd spaced.
And no, I was building up. It was dramatic.
I do love the build-up, Matt.
Drama. Okay, so, and of course, our guest, the inimitable draftsman, Abel Alejandre.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
All right, so Sundays at 5 o'clock are now reserved for your modern art blitz.
Woo! I'm so excited.
Music.
Music, maestro.
I shit on the bed. What did I do? I shit on the bed. I shit all over you. I shit on the bed. All over your dick. I shit on the bed. I am not a kid. I shit on the bed. I'm an adult. I'm an adult. I'm an adult. I shit in my bed. It's my best friend. I shit on the bed. I shit all over you. Fucking bitch, you shit. Fucking out shit. Fucking out shit.
What if there was a place in Los Angeles where artists and producers could hone their craft, workshop new scenes and characters, develop new shows, and experiment with groundbreaking technologies without the fear of judgment or unnecessary expense? Well, this is not that place. Welcome to DromeBox Laboratories, located east of downtown Los Angeles. Don't worry, it gets better. DromeBox has taken several hours out of each broadcast day to provide for local community members to create and broadcast works of artistic, political, educational, or other content using DromeBox Lab's facilities, free from upfront costs of any kind. Let's take a look around.
We hope we will survive.
At the heart of DromeBox Labs is the 40-foot green screen Cyclorama, your live gateway to endless cinematic possibilities. DromeBox also features a 25-foot black box stage suitable for plays, scene work, live music and comedy, or anything else you need a professional stage for. And we promise, this is not a cult. DromeBox also features a full-scale broadcast kitchen, available on special requests. DromeBox broadcasts live Wednesday through Sunday from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. Pacific Time. Shows range from talk, cooking, comedy, music, and other traditional live format shows to strictly developmental hours where the audience gets a chance to see behind the scenes as the artists focus on their craft without the usual pressures associated with live TV. It's not a cult. Welcome to the state-of-the-art control room, the brain of DromeBox Labs. Here, Lewis and Nolan Silverstein have built a system designed with the artist's needs in mind. We have a live-to-air video mixer, 3 cameras, 720p output, 96 kilohertz, 24-bit audio fidelity, less than half a millisecond of latency, plus a bunch of other technical stuff that I don't understand. Only one more room left to explore. Yeah. By now, you've already sent an email to info@dromebox.com to find out more, or you figured out that this is a cult and have alerted the authorities. I'm Eric Eberle, reminding you to tune in to DromeBox live Wednesday to Sunday, 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. Pacific Time, only on DromeBox.com.
Smoking hot version of the Night Stalker. Okay?
Oh, I see it now. I didn't
Do you
before.
see it?
Now
Like
I see
Richard
it.
Ramirez. He had some